All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about the debt ceiling deal. This has been the biggest news for the last several weeks, and it kind of happened very quietly yesterday, and now it's going to be finalized today. So I just wanted to go through this. I will say that I don't think anybody is happy with this deal, myself included. However, I am going to tell you why I think that might be a good thing. And in addition to that, there's a part of this deal that impacts the investments that we go through on this channel significantly. So I want to go through that as well. This should be a short video. I just want to wrap this up before it disappears. You know, this was front page news every day for weeks and weeks and months. And, now all of a sudden, it's just going to disappear. As I think many investors suspected, this would happen under the wire, just as we discussed in an earlier video. Okay, this is an article from the AP. Just days to spare. Senate gives final approval to debt ceiling deal. It's going to pass. He's going to sign it. He's scheduled already to speak tonight at 7 p.m. So this thing is a done deal, although technically the signature has not occurred at this time. I have heard basically everybody on both sides really complaining about this deal. I personally don't like the deal very much. However, having said that, when you're in a situation where there's a pending crisis and you're looking for a compromise, sometimes the best signal that you have reached a compromise is that nobody's truly happy with it. So I'm not saying this is a great deal. I don't think it is a great deal. I do think it avoids a crisis that we don't want any part of. We do not want to go into a default. But I think whether you're on the left or the right, you probably have a laundry list of things that you did not like about this deal. If you're interested in supporting the channel and helping me do this on a daily basis, you can become a member. We have tried to keep the membership price very low. It's $5 a month. Membership does have its privileges. There's a bunch of content already waiting for you in the members only area should you choose to join. In addition to that, we do a once a week members only live stream every Tuesday after the market closes. And also we have a members only Discord where we have an excellent conversation going on, and I participate in that on a daily basis as well. So I want to take a moment just to thank all my existing members for allowing me to keep doing this and welcome any new members. So as you see, this just pushes the matter forward and gives more time. But the result, after weeks of hard-fought budget negotiations, shelves the volatile debt ceiling issue that risked upending the U.S. and global economy until 2025 after the next presidential election. So you'll see, I think that's what they were going for. And so they've avoided the event. The outcome, the plan that they've agreed upon seems to be disliked by most, but this is the deal that we have, and it passed pretty convincingly in both the House and the Senate. It really was not a close vote. You'll see approval in the Senate on a bipartisan vote, 63 to 36. So the Senate is split almost equally. So a 63 to 36 vote is pretty convincing. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said ahead of voting that the bill's passage means, quote, America can breathe a sigh of relief. Okay, so, and that's what a lot of this was about. There was a massive amount of fear surrounding this, so let's put it behind us. And I'm going to just show you a couple of things to show, now that this is behind us, how little people really care about this. If you enjoy this content, please remember to subscribe to the channel. More than half of you are still not yet subscribed, so you can hit that subscribe button. You can also smash the like button and hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. If you look at the front page of CNBC, and I'm just looking at a couple of financial pages, I'm just going to show you a couple, but they're all the same. This is not the lead story. So it is over here. It's above the fold. Senate passes bill to raise debt ceiling, preventing first ever U.S. debt default. But you can see, for what was the story of the week, this week, last week, the week before, the resolution of this story is almost kind of a foregone conclusion. If you look at Yahoo's homepage, it's the same thing. It's all about this jobs report. By the way, as an aside, I'm not going to do a separate video on this. I may do a members only video. I did not think the jobs report was a big deal, so just my 2 cents there. That's my personal opinion. Okay, then Chuck Schumer went on to say afterward, he said, we've saved the country from the scourge of default. So, this was the high stakes talks prior, and now you can see, as we talked about, if you go back to my video last week, you can check that out in a link over my shoulder. Most Americans and most investors did think this exact scenario was going to happen, where a plan was put together just under the wire to avoid this default, and that turns out to be exactly what happened. He said he would sign the bill into law as soon as possible. quoting, "No one gets everything they want in negotiation, but make no mistake, the bipartisan agreement is a big win for our economy and the American people." So you can all have your own opinion on that. It seems to me that people on the left and the right don't really agree with that. Again, there is a lot of disappointment on both sides of the aisle. So again, my only takeaway is maybe there's some chance that that means this was an actual compromise and something had to be done. So this is what we have to deal with. I want to talk about how this affects one of the main things that we discuss on this channel, which is Bitcoin mining companies, because there was something directly in this bill that affects the Bitcoin mining companies, and this turned out in a very positive way. Okay, this is an article from Forbes magazine. Crypto mining stocks rally as U.S. debt ceiling deal stalls the 30% Bitcoin mining tax. So if you guys remember, this has been big news for the last several months. It's actually been kind of uncertainty hanging over the head of the Bitcoin miners and Bitcoin that there would be a 30% tax that Bitcoin miners in the United States would have to pay on the energy that they use to mine Bitcoin. Crypto mining stocks rallied on Tuesday as President Joe Biden apparently agreed to withdraw his planned 30% tax on electricity used by companies. Quote, "The current debt proposal does not include a digital asset mining energy tax." That from Representative Warren Davidson of Ohio. Quote, "We've spoken out to oppose this tax, and I see this as a significant victory." Riot Platforms led gainers among the majority of mining stocks, rising 10%. This was on Tuesday. Iris Energy, Hive, Blockchain, CleanSpark, Hut 8 Mining, and Marathon Digital were up 5.5% or more. So you can see once this passed the House, and it seemed inevitable that it was going to pass the Senate and be signed by Joe Biden, we now see this tax is not going to happen, at least for now and for the indefinite future. Okay, just to end this article, there's a quote from the White House. "The primary goal of the DAME tax, which was the 30% tax on Bitcoin miners, is to start having crypto miners pay their fair share of the costs imposed on local communities and the environment." Okay, so this is probably going to get edited out by my editor, but I'm putting it in here anyway. There may be many arguments for this tax or against this tax, but fair has nothing to do with it. And I want to read you guys something because words matter. Here's the dictionary definition of fair, and this is from the Oxford Dictionary. "Impartial and just, without favoritism or discrimination." Every single industry in the entire world uses electricity, and this would be the only industry that would have to pay this very high tax. So you can use a lot of different words and you can argue for it and for against it, but fair, just by the actual dictionary definition, is not a word that you can use for this. That is my personal opinion as I interpret the dictionary. Okay, so that's enough of that tangent. That's enough of my rant. So to just finish this up, you'll see that today, once again, the market is green. We're early in the day. The S&P's up 0.75%. The Dow is up over 1%. The Nasdaq's up 0.25%. Now, the Nasdaq has been on a tear lately. And then the Russell 2000 is up 1.5%. So we're green across the board. Bitcoin is up as well, about 1%. So we will see how the rest of the day unfolds. But I did just want to close this chapter. This was a massive, massive point of discussion. This affected markets significantly for the last probably month. It's now over and done with, so we can move on to the next thing, and which is probably the CPI data coming out, in about a week and a half. And then just 2 days later, the Fed deciding whether they're going to raise rates or not. So that's what's up next. Again, my big takeaway from this as an investor, the tax we've all been worried about, this 30% tax, is not going to happen. So I'm trying to look at the silver lining. That's my takeaway. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and hit the notification bell. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.